Hey, this is Jeff Leighton, your Washington, D.C. real estate expert, and in this week's video we'll be talking about Brookland, a once up-and-coming neighborhood in D.C. that has recently gained a ton of popularity, yet it still retains a small town and residential feel to it. Houses here are still more affordable than in other parts of D.C. However, that might not last for long. There's been a ton of development recently in Brookland, as well as a lot of planned development over the next 5, 10, 15 years, as people are finally starting to realize the potential of this neighborhood. So as far as the location and boundaries go of Brookland, according to the Washington Post, the boundaries are Rhode Island Ave to the south, South Dakota Ave to the northeast, Michigan Ave to the northwest, and the metro stop at the Brookland station to the west. The neighborhoods that are close by include Brentwood, Eckington, Edgewood, and Langdon. So Brookland actually gets its name from the Brooks Mansion, which was built in 1840 and was home to Colonel Brooks, who was a veteran of the War of 1812. In 1888, the neighborhood began to develop even further as a streetcar line was opened with a stop in Brookland. And just a year later, 1889, Catholic University officially opened, and for a while, Brookland was actually known as Little Rome. The neighborhood has continued to grow steadily over the last several decades, and there are ambitious plans in the near future to develop Brookland even further. Since Brookland, technically speaking, is not a historic district, the barriers to development here are not as strict as in other parts of D.C. However, there's a lot of long-time residents that want to keep this small town, suburban feel that Brookland has, while other residents want to see it reach, its full potential and create more of an urban type of neighborhood here. As of today, Brookland is a more residential type of neighborhood with parks, rec centers, and also access to the metro. It also has a quaint main street with shops, restaurants, and other types of small businesses. Many of the residents that are moving into Brookland have lived in other parts of downtown DC and are looking for a place to call home where they can get a little bit more house for their money, still be close to downtown, and also live in a place that has a huge potential for appreciation. There is also a very strong sense of community here, with very active civic and neighborhood groups. Brookland does not have the nightlife scene like other parts of downtown DC. However, it does have lots of community events throughout the year, including even being home to Washington, D.C.'s ultimate professional Frisbee team, which plays locally at Catholic University. As far as transportation goes in Brookland, it's very convenient. You have a metro stop along the Red Line within the community. There are also several bus routes that serve the area. Driving and parking here are also significantly easier than in other parts of downtown DC. Additionally, zip cars and biking are also popular modes of transportation here. One thing to note about Brookland, however, is that over the last 5 to 10 years, residents have noticed an uptick in traffic from all the commercial as well as residential development that's been going on around here. Okay, now let's talk about the real estate in Brookland. This is actually one of my favorite neighborhoods because of all the styles of housing you have here. The properties here include single-family houses with large lots of all different styles, including bungalows, Victorians, colonials, and many more. Towards the edge of the neighborhood's boundaries, there are also many row houses and duplexes. Prices in Brookland, as of right now, are relatively affordable compared to parts of downtown DC. However, like I mentioned, there are plans for large-scale developments throughout Brookland, which will eventually increase the value of the neighborhood. Okay, so to wrap this video all up, over the last 10 years, Brookland has seen a dramatic increase in popularity due to the fact that people are drawn to this small town, suburban, residential type of neighborhood with large lots, large houses, and affordable house prices. There are many residents that want Brookland to keep its small town, suburban, residential, almost low-key type of vibe to it, while plenty of others who want to see Brookland develop into one of the top destinations in DC. The bottom line is, Brookland is no longer a secret, and there are big things happening here. So if you're looking for a suburban neighborhood with tons of potential and upside, then Brookland is for you. Hey, so thanks for watching this video on Brookland, and hopefully you got a lot of great information out of it. And if you want to check out some more DC neighborhood videos, we actually put out a different video every single week on a different neighborhood in DC. So there's a link to my channel below which you can go check out. Additionally, if you want to set up a showing in Brookland, all you have to do is shoot me a text, email, or phone call. My contact information is below, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks a lot.